As we continue our series of NCAA Football 14 tips, we're going to be going over a play today in the shotgun split offset formation called cross curl. We're going to run it against a standard dime normal defense, 2-man under. Keep in mind this play will work against any sort of cover 0, cover 1, man-to-man defense. It really doesn't matter as long as your opponent is in some sort of man defense. The concept in this play is what we call in the sports video game community a man switch. Now, what happens in a man switch situation is that the guy who starts out covering your X receiver, or any receiver for that matter, in this example it's your X receiver, will then all of a sudden switch to covering somebody else mid-play. And then the guy that's covering that other receiver will then try to cover your X receiver. Creates a lot of confusion on defense, and you end up with the guy that's wide open in the middle of the field. To ideally run this play, there's a few hot routes and a little bit of setup that needs to go on. First, what we're going to do is we're going to hot route our circle receiver, which is the B receiver on the Xbox 360, to a streak route. That just kind of clears out the middle of the field so there's no congestion in there. Similarly, we're going to hot route our triangle running back over there, which is the Y running back on the Xbox 360, to just a flat route. We don't want him going upfield because that's going to get in the way of our X receiver coming across. When we run it here, keep in mind the guy guarding that X receiver, who's kind of above him and a little bit to the right, is going to all of a sudden switch, go after the running back. The middle linebacker who's supposed to be on that running back is going to go after the running back for a little bit, then turn back in the middle of the field and go after the X receiver if everything goes right. So again, this is against a 2-man under defense, and check out that X receiver here. You can see that's a man-to-man defense that looks like there's nobody covering that X receiver as we go to the replay. Let's get a little bit of an aerial view a little bit higher. You can see what happens. Make sure you focus on that middle linebacker who's directly above the center. And the cornerback who's covering our slot receiver there was a little bit to the right of him on that right hash mark. As we run it slowly here, he starts out covering our slot receiver as he should. But then all of a sudden he decides he's going to go after the running back. And so now both guys are covering the running back, and there's nobody covering our guy in the middle of the field here. And we get an easy catch for, 15 yards? If it's a cover 0 or a cover 1, you'll be easily looking at maybe 30 yards, maybe a touchdown, depending on how the defense reacts. Let's run it one more time so you can get a good look at how everything works. Again, we're going to put this circle receiver on a streak route. We're going to put our triangle running back over here on the left, just on a flat route so he stays out of everyone's way. We're going to run it again, and make sure you check out that middle linebacker and that cornerback's reaction as that R1 running back goes to the flat. Again, he's wide open. We're going to run it one more time here just so you can completely see how everything works. We don't want you to have to guess at this in the middle of an online game. We want you to be comfortable with it. Take it into practice mode a couple times so you know what you're doing. Again, if you're going against the zone defense, or if you don't know, this isn't necessarily a play to run, but if you're going against somebody who just consistently runs the same man-to-man defense, maybe he's pressing you, maybe he's blitzing, maybe he's backing off everybody, but he's in man defense, then run this play against him over and over until he gets out of that man-to-man defense, and then you can open up your playbook at that point. So one more time here. Make sure you check out the X receiver again here and how he gets open.